Bangladesh, born in the Cold War, rising in a new global order. A nation once dismissed as a bottomless basket is now emerging as a strategic player in the heart of South Asia. But with India, China, the US and Russia all watching, can Bangladesh remain neutral, or will it be forced to choose a side? When Bangladesh emerged from the ashes of war in 1971, few could have predicted its economic transformation. Today, the country is one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. The secret? A threefold engine: textiles, remittances and technology. The garment industry, built on the resilience of millions, catapulted Bangladesh to the world's second-largest apparel exporter. Each year, billions of dollars flow in from the clothes stitched here, destined for shelves across Europe and North America. Meanwhile, millions of Bangladeshis working abroad send remittances home, pumping vital cash into the economy and supporting entire communities. And now a digital revolution is underway. From mobile banking to e-commerce, Bangladesh's youth are turning the nation into a new tech frontier, connecting rural villages to global markets with a swipe of a screen. In just decades, Bangladesh has rewritten its own story, from famine and poverty to factories, fintech, and a future brimming with promise. Surrounded by India on three sides and facing the Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh holds a key geopolitical position. It's central to regional power play, used as a corridor by China's Belt and Road Initiative, a trade hub for the US, and a military partner for Russia. India sees it as its sphere of influence, and yet Bangladesh has kept a cautious balance through hedging, aligning with all powers while pledging loyalty to none. In recent years, Bangladesh has quietly transformed its military landscape. Once reliant on outdated equipment, the nation is now investing in state-of-the-art technology and advanced hardware. Strategic arms deals with Russia have delivered modern tanks, fighter jets and naval vessels, while partnerships with Turkey and China have brought in new drones, armored vehicles and surveillance systems. Beyond procurement, Bangladesh's armed forces are increasingly visible on the world stage. The country is recognized as one of the top contributors to United Nations peacekeeping missions, with Bangladeshi troops serving in hot spots from Africa to the Middle East. This global presence has earned respect and forged new diplomatic ties. Joint military exercises with the United States, India and neighboring countries further sharpen Bangladesh's defense readiness. These drills, showcased in vibrant parades and live fire demonstrations, underscore the country's commitment to regional stability and its growing role as a security partner. Through careful modernization and international cooperation, Bangladesh is crafting a military that not only defends its borders, but also projects influence far beyond them. Bangladesh stands to benefit from its ties with every major global player. From China, it receives infrastructure investments and economic support. From the US, it enjoys trade benefits and security cooperation. Russia provides military equipment and helps develop nuclear energy, while ties with Gulf nations supply remittance and labor deals. Even within South and Southeast Asia, Bangladesh is uniquely positioned to bridge SAARC and ASEAN. Few nations feel the weight of climate change like Bangladesh. Nestled in the world's largest delta, the country faces a relentless battle against rising sea levels and increasingly fierce cyclones. Each year, millions brace for floods that swallow homes, farmlands, and entire villages, leaving behind a trail of devastation. But Bangladesh is not standing still. Along its vulnerable coastline, embankments stretch for miles, holding back the encroaching sea. In rural communities, innovative floating farms and houses rise above floodwaters, living proof of resilience and adaptation. International partnerships fuel these efforts, bringing in technology and resources to reinforce Bangladesh's fight. Yet the threat remains existential. As climate refugees seek new homes and the land shrinks, the world watches Bangladesh, a frontline laboratory for survival in a warming world. Through ingenuity and determination, Bangladesh is not just surviving, it's showing the way forward for a planet under siege. But challenges loom large. Bangladesh is stuck between competing hegemons. India warns against growing ties with China. The US sends frequent diplomatic missions to keep Dhaka in its fold. China, meanwhile, has invested over $40 billion. Yet a deep trade imbalance risks a potential debt trap. And while Bangladesh depends on Russia for weapons and energy, it faces pressure from the West to cut ties amid the Ukraine war. Amidst the geopolitical chessboard, a new force is quietly rewriting Bangladesh's future, its youth. Over half the population is under 30, and they are hungry for change. In Dhaka's bustling tech hubs, young entrepreneurs pitch bold ideas, determined to solve problems unique to their communities. Rows of students at coding boot camps, fingers flying over keyboards. A group of friends huddled over a laptop, launching a fintech app. A packed hall at a startup competition where dreams are measured in elevator pitches and innovation knows no bounds. The government's Digital Bangladesh initiative has unleashed a wave of opportunity. Universities rapidly expand computer science programs, while global tech giants set up innovation labs. Startups like Pathao and Shohoz transform urban transport, while local e-commerce platforms empower rural artisans. But challenges persist. Limited access to venture capital, gaps in digital infrastructure, and the ever-present threat of brain drain. Yet for every obstacle, there is a new wave of coders, creators, and changemakers ready to leap forward. Bangladesh's youth aren't just participants in the global digital economy. They're shaping it one idea at a time. Over 1 million Rohingya refugees weigh heavily on Bangladesh. Regional giants, China, India, and Russia, remain silent, each protecting their own strategic interests in Myanmar. As the West offers only symbolic support, Dhaka is left to shoulder a humanitarian and security burden alone. As Bangladesh grapples with humanitarian crises and security challenges, its role in regional diplomacy has never been more crucial. At the heart of South Asia, Bangladesh is an active member of SAARC, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, where it advocates for economic integration and peace, despite ongoing tensions between India and Pakistan. In the east, Bangladesh is a key player in BIMSTEC, connecting South and Southeast Asia. Here, it pushes for infrastructure development and trade, forging links across the Bay of Bengal that promise new opportunities for growth. Beyond its immediate neighbors, Bangladesh's voice resonates in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or OIC. As the world's fourth-largest Muslim-majority country, it champions humanitarian causes and seeks solidarity on global issues affecting the Muslim world. Through these diplomatic channels, Bangladesh balances competing interests, building bridges, seeking allies, and amplifying its influence on the international stage. Against a backdrop of summit halls, handshakes, and the fluttering flags of member nations, Bangladesh's regional diplomacy is both a challenge and an opportunity in an increasingly complex world. With global power tilting east and the BRICS bloc rising, Bangladesh must decide, will it continue to hedge or be forced to align with a power bloc, Western democracies or Eastern alliances? Its future depends on maintaining trade with the West, investment from China, military support from Russia, and influence in the Muslim world. Bangladesh is no longer just a pawn, it is a player. But to stay in the game, it must reform, stabilize politically, and assert a clear long-term foreign policy. Its success will depend on its ability to say yes to opportunity, without ever saying no to independence. What do you think? Can Bangladesh remain balanced in a world demanding sides? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more geopolitical insights on South Asia.